Okay. My chair is stuck on something. What the hell am I stuck on? Freaking wires, man. It's like no matter how many times I get rid of wires, one ends up underneath my chair. But hi. Welcome to Train Sim World 3. This just released today. And, I don't know. We'll put it to the test. See how it goes. I don't know. From videos I saw, like, it looks better. It's got, obviously, new stuff. One of the big things is they... What'd you have? Did I click on something by moving my Twinkie? Man, I moved my Twinkie. Oh, wait a minute.
Simulation
Well,
featuring
turn that on.
authentic routes and trains from around the world.
Okay.
This is the training center. Here you can learn about how to navigate and interact with the world, as well as how to operate the many trains. Let's start by looking around. Find each of the markers and look at them.
Find yourself looking up when you want to look down. No.
Your current objective is shown at the top left of the screen. Walk to the blue marker to complete the current objective.
Okay. I've played this. Okay. We just run. I am just permanently running. Walk around, it says. I'm literally running.
You've been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience level for the game. This is one of the many types of route tasks to be discovered. Keep an eye out for many more types and styles of route tasks, which can involve placing, collecting, or fixing a variety of things.
Okay.
Head into the main building, and you'll continue your induction there.
Induction? Not introduction? Okay. Okay.
You can pause Train Sim World at any point to review objectives and a lot of other information about what's happening at the moment. Try it now, and then return to the game after you've had a look around.
Okay. Is this actually picking up the game audio? Am I doing this right?
Some of the basics of moving around and interacting with the environment. Let's take a walk through the building and find the trains.
I'm just trying to find, like, the opening to there. 'Cause I haven't eaten anything today. So, Twinkie is my breakfast. The trains are upstairs. It's just a view. A train.
This is Central Square. From here, you can explore the main training center depot and surrounding yards.
Why did they give me the map in there?
Your journey operating trains
I'm
is
actually gonna
just getting
check on
started
my
here in the training center.
Phone really
Remember, you can always come back here from the main menu to refresh your knowledge if you're unsure about anything.
Alright, I confirm. Yeah, it's working. I've been playing N64 games, so what am I doing? Head out to the rail yard. Why did I place the second
Continue
one?
to learn and other training modules here in the training center, and then you'll be ready to take on more challenges in other environments.
Okay. Okay. That's all it's gonna be. Let's just, to start it, go by something I know. And we'll do these. Oh, cool, I got a achievement for that. Let's just check out the training modules on this locomotive. Something I'm very familiar with.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive this ES-44C4 locomotive in BNSF railway livery. The ES-44C4 is the fourth generation of the GE Evolution series. It started production in
Who's
2009.
the prospector that's telling me how to do
Continued
this?
to be built until 2015. Rated at 4,400 horsepower, these beasts are primarily used for heavy freight and intermodal traffic. When you're ready to begin, climb aboard.
Sounds like the like a calm version of the prospector voiceover from Big Thunder Mountain at Disney World. I was waiting for him to tell me this is going to be the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Sit in the engineer's seat.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Alright. That's how they get away with not showing the electronics, I guess. They have the PTC cutout, so there's that. Yay. Fridge. Okay. Yep. Okay. It's accurate. Yep. Yep. Yeah, for the most part. Okay. So far.
Now you'll go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive.
Why is my brake pipe going down?
Firstly, you will need to set the generator field switch. This needs to be enabled for the throttle to control the power of the train. This locomotive requires the reverser handle to be inserted before operation. The reverser determines the direction of travel.
This dude sounds confused on telling me this. What do you want? Why?
Now switch the front headlights on. Regardless of the time of day or weather, all locomotives must have their headlights on.
You want them bright, really?
When getting moving, it's worth remembering the following sequence. Independent on, auto off, throttle on, independent off. Let's go through that slowly and understand why. First, fully apply the independent brake. Now, this will ensure that regardless of anything else, your train won't move.
Okay. It should already, if you are getting on an unattended locomotive that is tied down, that is supposed to be on full, and so that's not supposed to be in suppression. That's supposed to be in full service. Or we actually have a thing where we have a 20-pound reduction on remote. Anyway, I should not have this in forward right now, because all it's going to is set off the alerter eventually.
Fully release the automatic brake. This will release the brakes on the rest of the train, but you won't go anywhere because those independent brakes are holding you.
Hold on. Wants me to use the headlights, and the headlight thing's not even set right. Cab signal, not using that. Fuel. Why? Those are supposed to be on. How is this locomotive running?
Now apply a small amount of throttle and verify that power is generated.
See, now you would do this.
Finally, release the independent brake and you'll start moving.
I'm trying to verify power, but there is none. There's no power. There it is.
This is a great practice to get used to, because it'll help you with two key areas. The first is that you verify that the train will take power before you release the brakes. You don't want to find yourself without power and having to hurriedly put the brakes back on. The second is that having power applied as you release the independent brakes ensures that you won't roll backwards. On steeper hill starts, you may even need to start with more power. And this is something you can practice and get used to.
Why am I at
As
kilometers?
you find yourself out on the railroad. If you have any locomotives on the rear of the train behind freight cars, you can press the banking comms button to enable radio communications with those remote units. This will ensure that
Where?
they operate their throttle and brakes in unison with
Banking
your own
comms.
locomotive, giving you much needed extra control on your journey.
My switch line?
Press it now, just to get practice, even though there aren't any connected.
Push to talk. Hold up, ho! Okay. Guys, who developed these locomotives for the game, did their research, and determined that the push to talk button communicates with remote units?
Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements. Come to a stop in the indicated position using the independent brake. Independent brakes apply only to the locomotives in the formation and are much faster to apply and release than the automatic brake, which operates on the entire train.
Okay. Is it still... Yep. It's gonna have me just run through switches. Let's take a look at this thing from outside. Okay. Looks like a typical BNG. Oh, let the switch in front of me. Not lined. I'm not even gonna deal with the fact that it probably wants me to get out. Did I just see that? So I get that the big... Okay. I like that they do have that. Oh, wow. Did I actually change anything? Oh, it does. Cool. Oh, they even got the washer fluid. I'll give them that. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. All my distributed power information is supposed to be on these screens. And this game wants me to believe that in order to initiate communication with my remote units, I have to push the talk button on the radio. It couldn't just go and create the system. Where's my... Okay. Can't do anything with this. So PTC is just there for aesthetic in this game. How do I... Okay. Gotta figure out my key commands here, because last time I played this Train Sim World 2, I used the rail driver. And you know what? I'm gonna flat out say it. That was honestly probably the biggest waste of money I ever put out. It's just too sensitive. It doesn't register anything properly because it doesn't have enough travel. So, yeah.
Change direction with a reverser. Then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map.
Okay.
Before proceeding, check the two couplers are in the right position to allow for automatic coupling. Look at the rear coupler on your train and ensure it's open. Operate the cut bar if it is closed to release it.
You making me get out of the seat? Isn't there like a...
Next, walk over to the freight cars you're going to couple to and check their coupler knuckle is open too. Operate the cut bar here to open the knuckle.
I smacked the train. Oh my... Oh, okay.
Before coupling cars, always check the knuckles are open, or you'll just bounce right off.
Did they actually make that a feature?
Okay. The junction is correctly aligned and the cars are ready to couple. Couple up to the cars by gently driving into them at a slow speed. And most freight uses automatic knuckle couplers, so they will automatically couple once they connect.
What do we use that doesn't use knuckle couplers? Okay, sound seems a bit better. Like, it's always had horrible, like, horns in this game. You kidding me? Who's gonna do this simple?
If your speed is too high, you risk derailing when coupling. Apply some brakes to slow your approach.
Oh my god, I'm having such a laugh with this. You know what's funny is it never even told me to do something that I'm going to go do right now. Which is, in moments like this, you light locomotive in a yard, you put on the rear headlight. Now, I have the bell on for no reason, but whatever. Oh man, did they claim to have talked to like actual railroaders or people that work for the railroad but don't railroad? Doesn't even look like my rear headlights on.
Hey, nice work. Now change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. Remember to apply a little power before releasing brakes. While it's not strictly necessary in the training center, this is the time to start forming great habits.
Set the throttle to 2? Are you kidding me? Okay.
Since you have freight cars coupled, you should slow down using the automatic brake and get the extra braking effort from those freight cars. The automatic brake applies brakes throughout the entire train.
Looks like there's a crossing up here, and then maybe I should do this.
Uncouple the cars either by using the external camera or by walking to the cars on foot. That's it for this training module.
I'm getting so used to this every time I'm trying to look at something. Okay. Let's go to the roots. Let's see. Shop class prepare. Prepare an ES-44 and bring it into service as a lead of a formation. Formation? Is that what we're calling them? See what old boy's got to say to me now. Oh, we're not going to talk today. I'm aboard the locomotive. Why is this shift is walk in this game? Okay. That. What? Okay. It, Don't start up that quick, guys. Okay. What am I doing here? Okay. Okay. Nope, you still haven't figured out how to program that. Okay, that's randomly released. I haven't figured out how to program where the chains actually connect. Okay, released. I just got launched from my train. Let's check a few things here. Okay. Okay. So that does nothing but. No. Yeah. They literally made it so you can't see that stuff right there while you're standing. Short hood trail. Okay. So run. That stuff is supposed to be on. I don't know why the game is programmed to forever be running like this, but your headlights on dim. Put those on bright for the time being. Okay. We're here. And we gotta go there. Okay. Now, we're technically in a shop. 5 mile an hour. Now we might be considered out of the shop. Oh, I didn't want to stop here. Where do you want me to go? Seems like such a long-winded way to get to where I need to get to, but whatever. The rear headlight's still not on. Couldn't even program that, guys. Okay. No warning that this was a damn 10. I think I'm going to put this whole stream on YouTube unedited. Just and now somehow I'm climbing. That doesn't make sense. Like, why is this not picking up speed? I am light locomotives. 2 light locomotives and notch 1. Even with the incline, I should be picking up speed. Whoop. I'm gonna do that. I should have already learned this, right? Bell must be sounded when adjacent to standing equipment. These are some things I can do realistically so far. Looks like I'm going into a shop area. I went ahead and lined everything through the map, but yeah, we're going into a shop. So, $5 mph it is. It's, you know, if people don't like it, then that's how these games work. Or that's how railroad works. There's a tower, but I don't know what that tower does. Curious to see if where they want me to stop actually fits both motors properly. They must have planned that. Where'd the door go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, hold on. Okay. Am I missing something? Oh my god. Just like that, it's done. I ain't gotta close it. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, is there a reason why okay. like my shift button broken? I don't know why I'm running so much. Set the reverser to reverse. Oops. Couple of 92 cars. Okay, where? All the way back out the loop. They just came in. Okay. Okay. Look, there's already stuff there apparently. Alright. This is how we're gonna do it. This is what it is, guys. This is how you railroad. The way they've set up this move where you take power from whatever those tracks were, bring them all the way around to here, fuel them, and then bring them right out to the train. They should have already been fueled and serviced if they're going out on a train. If I'm the guy getting the train ready to go. Then again, I don't know what BN has as far as hostling. I guess I really wanted that 32 whatever as a leader. And sometimes in real life that's the case. That's how it works. I would think more than likely if somebody would have to make a move like this, they would just swap ends to get the power to the train. But this game don't think like that. Why does this just magically change to 10? There's no warning. Whoa, it fell. I'll look at something. Even though it's already open. I don't know why they were so obsessed with putting that squealing noise in there anytime you set a brake. Did my game just freeze? Okay. Time taken. 24:53, and what did it assume I was going to do it for half an hour? Through fire and flames. Okay. Let me, what are you talking about? We're in force of wildfire along the track. Be extra careful. What? Inspect a formation on the inspection lines at Barstow. Let's just take a train. Intermodal from El Paso to San Diego. Cement train from Houston to LA. I won't do anything too long. Tell you what, we'll just go with the 115. Intermodal. Today's date, dynamic weather. Yeah, whatever that means. Just okay. That was their big thing they were proud of with this game, and I get it. Like, it looks great. But that is a tiny intermodal train. Could you? Okay. Brake pipes at 82. Okay, it's on a minimum, I'll give them that. They didn't start it out where you have to cut in your brakes, which is good. They even got that right. Oh wow, they even got the headlights on them. Alright, let's charge the train. I'm assuming I know the answer. Yep. I didn't think so, but I didn't think I would have a remote on this thing. Alright. let's go for a train ride, I guess. Let's see what this one's all about. There we go. So I know nothing about this route, period. Showing EOT moves, so. Well, there's a G whoop that everyone talks about. You doing okay over there, guy? You good? Okay. Not much of a talker. That makes it a long day when you have a crew member that you can't talk to. Oh, 12 hours just takes forever to get by. When you have somebody you can actually enjoy a conversation with, it makes your day so much better. Otherwise, you're just sitting up there bored eating. Welcome to the life of the railroad. For anybody that's tuning in today, I hope you're enjoying this. Learning from the view of somebody that's actually done this stuff, how accurate are these games? I do like the location of this route. A lot of stuff popping in. I don't know if it's just because I need to change the graphical settings or what. Actually, now I probably could do like an optimization on it. Got a crossing up there? I bet you didn't realize this is probably a quiet zone. Don't care. Always sound your bell when going through a station platform. It says I'm coming up to a 35 somewhere, but it has yet to actually change to 35, so I'm playing it safe. But this is a light, short train. These are rocket ships with two motors like this. I think that's all I have is two locomotives. What am I? Venus 3288. I wonder if I've ever been on one of these. I hope they add, like, for my personal, it'd be cool if they actually added, like, modern day CN locomotives instead of all the old stuff, just so I can get a, just so I can, you know, pretend to be me at work, at home even more so. Then I can tell you if they were really accurate on those. Dovetail, if you're listening, CN C40-8Ws or ES44s even or something. I reached driver level 2 somehow. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. At some point I'm supposed to enter a 40 and then a 45. When am I going to clear into the 40? Looks like there's another train coming at me. Out of respect in real life, he would do this as he passed another train. And you give a friendly wave. What's up, Boom? Yeah, it's been a while since I've done this kind of stuff. But I don't know, the new game just came out today and it's on Game Pass, so I was able to just get it. Not cheating sand, baby. Look at that. Why does that train have remotes on it? That train is way too short for that. How you doing, Boom? Hope life has been treating you well. Drive any locomotive for 5 miles. I got another urge. I'm doing good, thank you. From things I can see, there's a few graphical improvements. There has been there's been sound improvements, I will say. Like, I've found this to be much better with the horn sounds than the previous game was. Something tells me I'm about to go drastically downhill. I know one of the big things was the weather features. They have completely upgraded how that works, I guess. Carl, I am not singing that. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. It's going. It's going. I figured I'd give this one a try since it's brand new. It ain't happening. So far, it's okay. There's a couple realism issues that I've found. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is just like work. Oh, good. I got a 50 coming up eventually. But I mean, you know, a lot of people enjoy this stuff, these kinds of games. There is, you're going old school, but it's currently actually disabled, I guess. But there is a alerter, this thing that's supposed to go off if I don't do anything after so long. That kind of essentially was just a replacement of a dead man brake, but they used to have a pedal that, yeah, the engineer had to keep his foot on the whole time, otherwise the locomotive would stop running. I mean, this is literally what I do for a living. I sit here and I stare out windows. And then I come home and I play a game where I sit there and stare out windows. No, so yeah, there's just every so often this thing goes on if you don't touch the, like in a situation like this where I'm climbing a hill, I'm in full power and it's not doing anything, like how did I get the job? Or how did I get interested in doing it? Yes to both. How did I get interested? So, growing up, my family, my dad owned a restaurant, and right across the street from it, there was an old train station, and so I'd see the CSX trains going by every day, and the commuter trains, and Amtrak, and all this stuff, and I just got so interested, got so obsessed with it, and then so I decided, that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of like going to college or anything, I said, no, I'm gonna do this. So I found a way to get my foot in the door, and I ended up getting a job in North Dakota, and from there I've been railroading for 8 years. And I enjoy it. There's things going on in the world right now with it that are but I enjoy my job itself. Like, there's no denying I enjoy what I actually do. So like I said, I can nitpick this game. A few things that are just not realistic. I wish that the developers of this they're trained people, they're fans of trains, but they're not from the United States. So they kind of don't fully understand what they're modeling when they make some of these engines. How do you get trained to drive a train? So first off, you have to be a conductor. A lot of places you have to be there at least a year. Some places require you to be a conductor for 5 years before you can even be an engineer. Yeah, right. And when you get promoted to locomotive engineer, they take you to their training center, so you go through their whole ordeal again. Do rules and this and that. They actually have you practice on simulators where it's a full recreation of a cab, and I've actually never used one of those. And then you go out in the field and they put you on trains and you go to work. What is that? The simulators are usually like a custom program designed for the railroads. Are these supposed to be crossings? Oh no, that's a flange lubricator. Never mind. I actually have this thing here that, if I can get it, it's heavy. That you can use with these kinds of games. And yeah, this is I tried it, and I think now, honestly, I can say that is the biggest waste of money I've ever done. It's too sensitive. It's not big enough to comprehend the controls of an actual, like, it. I've had it sit there and it just starts doing things. It just freaks out if, like, the desk shakes, which obviously is not something. And I hate that because I'd like to have a better experience. I should find, like, the scrapyard near me that they actually scrap locomotives in, and I should find out if I can get pieces of a desktop like that. Let's see how fast this baby can go. Sometimes, not that fast, Carl. All depends. Been a tram driver for a lot of years. Always been interested in how railroads work. Yeah, they work. That's the best I can say. It's this does sound good. I'm gonna say that. As far as the game goes so far, these sounds are good. And don't work. Yeah, the Greta thought we could actually, hijack the train. Let's take a look. I got 3 locomotives. Alright. 3288, 3250, 3264. Let's see. Let's get a good view. This is a neat thing when it comes to, like, scenarios like this, where oh cool, let's go to the diner. Oh, it doesn't let you go over far enough. Oh, that's disappointing. Well, alright, fine. We'll go from... Oh, wait, did I just actually hit the fence? Oh, that's cool. They actually make collisions like that. Yes, that's exactly what that's for. That's exactly why we do that, Carl. This locomotive alone is 4,400 horsepower. And so with 3 of them together, you got 13.2. Yeah. No? Oh yeah, we're suckers for that. A lot of guys nowadays don't like it when people are out there, like, filming us as the train goes by. There's times that I like I'm okay with it. This time I'm not. And that car, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that. That car is literally sunk halfway into the road. Programming. I don't know. Depending on, most of the time I see somebody out, the school bus just disappeared. I see somebody out there with a camera or something, I'll, give away. A lot of them I find funny is they don't like it when you, the crew member is actually in the shot. So I like to open the window and look outside. Oh God, the power acceleration unit. Most of it's for strength for pulling, more so than speed. the more locomotives you have, the better off you are to get to full speed, or as we call it, track speed, whatever the speed limit is. But there's times where I work that we have this one hill that we have 2 locomotives. We've been running 50 mile an hour the whole time. We climb this hill. The speed limit there is 40. We'll get to the top going about 8 mile an hour. It's just that heavy. And 2 locomotives is not enough on that for 23,000 tons. Just saying. What's the fastest trains go? It depends. Depends on the type of train and where the train is. Like Amtrak, between Boston and Washington, D.C., can go about 125 mile an hour for most of it, and there is a stretch they go 150. Where I work, our freight trains are 50 mile an hour. If you have a train like this is called an intermodal train, where they have all the containers that go on ships and trucks and yada yada. Because they're such high priority, these actually are allowed to go 60 mile an hour. And on our territory, Amtrak can go 79 miles an hour. Yes, the Shanghai Maglev, that can go 300 mile an hour, I think. It's a weird description of a train because it doesn't no. It's magnets, it's floating, but look at the. I will admit though, like, obviously you can see the detail from further off is a little different, but just the fact that I can look over there and say, hey, look at those. Oh yeah, I've been on those trains before, Carl, that go that fast. As long as the track is good, you won't even notice things, but if there is a rough section, you're in for the time of your life. Even on the trains I work on, I've been on some locations where there's a bad little spot of track, kind of rough. We hit it. Like, you see how it's shaking on the screen. And you damn near get launched out of your seat. And we've come to know where those areas are, so we're like, we gotta do it today? Oh no, we got good suspension. Oh, you talking about a sun kink? Yeah, I've seen one of those in my career. I've seen one sun kink in my career, and they are not fun. Luckily, somebody else was the one who found it. It kind of depends. Could be actual rail. Could be like the rail's been hit too hard by something. So, if you hear it, like if you ever watch a freight train going by, and you're hearing that don't, like that pounding noise. Okay. Didn't see that coming. It is actually not the sound that everyone thinks it is. Like, oh, the trains go clickety clack, yada yada. They that's actually a flat spot on the wheel, because the wheel had been dragging with a brake for too long. It flattens out the wheel, and so because of the shape, as it rotates around, when that flat spot hit it, it basically slams down on the track, and that causes problems there. The ties underneath, they could be so old that they have been rotted out. The ground could be soft, like if it rains too much and the soil underneath could get too soft, and the track will. There's a lot of different factors that can affect track conditions. I'm surprised I didn't have a way to use trip optimizer in this thing, since I get the sticker for it up there. Something fun about this game is just, you can actually turn on the fan. Does it do anything? No. It's a nice little touch. Yeah, switches do not like that. When that much force hits them. A lot of our coal trains sound like that, actually, because the way that they unload them and they're being dragged up. That's a feature. I just gotta run it. I didn't know they made that a thing. I'll give them that. I feel like it was a little delayed, but you're allowed to use train horns whenever or only at specific times. Like, I know you were supposed to use them for real. Yeah, so the horn is used for to give certain types of signals. So everyone, let's do a demonstration here. Everyone that's ever heard a train go by has heard. That is your horn signal for a train is coming across a road. When you are about to move the train forward, you would do this. You give two. If you're going to back up, it signals to people nearby what you're doing. If you stop, and we do this a lot, like if we're getting tested to see if we're paying attention in the yard or we're going slow enough, if we stop, we do. It's an acknowledgement. It means the train is stopped. I have seen where 4 short means, you need to acknowledge something, like a radio broadcast or something, like you need to pay attention. When you're approaching, like say there's people working on the track, I'm going to just call this, we're on main number 1. If over there on main number 2 there was a crew doing work, you would approach them with, you do a long and a short on the approach, and until you get by them, you would do just constantly like this, and the bell would ring the entire time. The way the bell works is it has to be active over the crossing, it has to be active passing standing equipment, going through stations or anything like that. If the crossing does not allow for the horns, there are areas where people have complained enough and the city deems, okay, we're going to make this a quiet zone. All you do is ring the bell. And other than that, that's like just the absolute horn signal setup. From there, you could do, there's really no restriction on when you blow the horn unless it's a quiet zone. And in a quiet zone, we have the ability to blow the horn if there is something obstructing the track or we're passing workers. Should clip what? That whole description of the horns? I can do that. I can do that. Other than that, like you know, sometimes we just mess around with it. Like, I don't know if I can do it in the game, but nah, you can't. There's some locomotives that have a horn set up where you can actually go dut 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 and see if you're passing another train, if somebody will answer you. I actually did that. We passed a train a few weeks ago, and they were upset because they put us on there. I was on the train they were called for. They got put on another train that they didn't want because the other one came in earlier, and we ended up passing them, which got them really mad because they didn't have anywhere for that train to fit. So I went by and I had a horn button on the conductor's side, which there might be one on this one. Just noticed the T-pose over here. Oh, jeez, guys. Anyway, I did that as we went by, and I don't think they were amused. You don't use bells in Europe. Yes, bells are really just an American thing. Okay, I don't know what that just was. Alright, I got another achievement. Drive any locomotive for 20 miles. Look at that, look, you can even see it in the window. The hand sticking out the window. It's possible. Something that can be done is say, well, it looks like we're coming up on one, but a flange lubricator, like we're coming over here right now. It obviously lubricates the flanges of the wheels so that they don't run too hot especially on long hauls. It is possible that there's too much grease that it does actually cause wheel slip. You are not even allowed to sand over those. Actually, you're not supposed. You're not supposed to. Let's say that. When I ran locomotives in New England, I've had that a few times. People laugh about it when say trains are late because there's leaves on the rail. It's a real thing. Leaves on the rail, they start getting crushed. They release an oil that greases up the rail, and they cause wheel slip. How do you communicate between the multiple cabs for each train of the daisy chain for control? They are set up through a means of hoses like this, and yeah, it is cables. It's called the MU cable. So what this does, it sends signals through computers to the other locomotives. So what I do here, so if I'm in notch 7 here, if I were to go back to the other locomotives, they would show that they are also in notch 7. They respond to what you do from the controlling cab. It is now raining. Great. This is the dynamic weather feature they were talking about. So this can happen randomly in this game. I need to slow down. Watch, I'm gonna get another run-in from this somehow. You get an achievement for using the wipers and they didn't even turn on. The other cabs are empty. The only time somebody else would be in one is if they were in deadhead service and they need to be transported back home, and the only way to do it, or anywhere really, and the only way to do it is through another train. They could ride back there, but typically they're empty because you only need to worry about control from the lead locomotive. It's very bright in this cab, even though the light is considered off. So this thing is not slowing down somehow. There we go. Okay. Now here comes some fun. Dynamics. This is how you control a train going down the hill. What dynamic brakes do is it actually uses the traction motors in reverse. So a traction motor is what spins the wheels of a locomotive. Not able to show really what they look like on this. You would then put in dynamics. It takes the power to... Chris, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you, okay. Where did this come from? I did not see this speed decrease coming. I'm doing everything wrong, but it's just a game. Back off on those. Okay, that did not give me any. I swear I didn't see that up there. Maybe it was up there, I just wasn't paying attention. I was trying to focus on that. Whoops. So anyway, like I was saying, the traction motors then take everything in reverse, feed it back to the engine as a force to slow down. 3%, huh? I'm telling you right now, this is not programmed good as far as weight goes, because even though it's a 3%, I have one of the lightest trains, one of the easiest to stop trains. And this ain't right. I have that much of a... There's no way. If it still increases after this. Where's my... I am 4,500 tons and 3,800 feet of train. Even on a 3%, I should not be in dynamic 8 with a 22-pound reduction. The train is not that heavy. Bet you they tell me, oh, well, it's raining. That doesn't matter. Never have I seen a train of that little weight push 3 locomotives that freaking hard. Because I never want to go that high on my dynamics anyway, because they create a force that can push out the rail. And you're probably leaving the tracks, Carl. It's showing my rear is at 78, doesn't I don't believe that. It's like this game wants you to use this stuff incorrectly. Like, rain will make a difference, but for the most part, if you were already moving, you probably should be fine. Let's see what the weather looks like actually outside. Like, realistically, if I were to be going down a hill like this with a 20-pound reduction, phew, I'd say there's an issue. And more than anything, you would stop the train. But, I don't know. I'd say you have brake issues. I would never believe that on a short, light train, that 20-pound or 19-pound reduction of brake pipe would be necessary. Now, I've never run on a grade this steep, but it does seem to me a little like they did it a little too much. If the brakes fail on a train, the number one thing you would do is put this and this both in emergency, and see if there is any sort of braking force that you have. Because if you lose all your air, I mean, you. Now, this can slow down the train enough, depending on situations. And from there, you could find a way to do what you need to do. I have never heard of anyone actually being in such a situation, personally. And it is possible for a train to lose its air brakes, but it's very uncommon. I do like this feature that they have with the windshield wipers, though. Like, everything looks good here, and yep, look at that. Even under the bridge, the rain stops. I got that all figured out. So there's that. get a good... Ooh. Why did they make it so you can't go over to these places? You used to be able to do something like that. Ooh, what's up here? Hey, look, more tracks that I'd probably rather be on. Yep, everything is controlled by air on the braking system of a freight train car. So, there's a giant air compressor inside this thing. And these right here are some of the air tanks. This hose right here at the very bottom, where my indicator is on, that is the brake pipe hose. And it's actually, it shouldn't be moving as much as it is. That will connect through the entire train line. And then you have it here on the cars. Each car then has their own brake system. Let's see if I can find one. As my train is literally doing stuff. So here's one of the tanks. There's a whole brake system. When your freight train is charged up to 90 psi. When you make a reduction, it actually applies the brakes on a train. And in order to release them, you would increase the pressure. Now, you cannot control that in a way like, I have a 19-pound reduction on this train right now. I can't go back to make it a 15-pound reduction. On a freight train, you have one option. If you move it and it makes a 1.5 pound change, your brakes will release. I can go further and add more brake, but I can't take any brake off. I would have to release the entire train. So, passenger trains, on the other hand, do have the ability to control their release as much as they want. So they could put on a full set and slowly start backing it off if they were going to stop sooner than they wanted. And they are charged up to 110 psi on their train. I should be a train instructor. Oh, man. Hey, it's what happens when you do it for so long. You retain a thing or two. What? I just got some wheel slip. Yay. I'm guessing that's what that was. If I were to do it, especially on these heavy hills, that is when you get a train that can run away. To put the brakes back on, you have to charge up the entire train. So you can see here that my brake pipe is at 71, my equalizing reservoir is at 71, and the rear end is at 71. There's a device back there called an EOT, and that communicates the air pressure at the back of the train to the front. So if you release it, you would have to wait for the rear end to get up high enough in order to be able to make another reduction. Now we're going to have to release them because this train will stop now. So I got to see what I can do. So you see, equalizing reservoir is 90. That is what I am telling the brake pipe I want it to be at. The brake pipe is showing 88. The rear end you see has gone up. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see my hand. You guys can see that it's going up. It's gone up 3 pounds now. But the whole train has to be charged up enough. And so I don't know how well they program this in, because I bet you if I were to make a brake pipe reduction right now, it would probably just consider it a train fully charged. But I got a little bit of play now because we do have less of a grade and we have a higher speed. So I can let it charge up. If you have to go after it again after releasing and you didn't get enough, you got to go deeper to get anything worth your while. but I've been in situations where I put on like the absolute bare minimum of a brake application. So let's try it. See what it does. Minimum. Now, if you do this, your locomotive brakes do also set up. It's not going to be enough. You increase it after that. I really hate this. God bless anybody that actually has to make this run in real life. Explain it like you're 3-year-olds. I'm not exactly trying to be that degrading. But it's not as complicated as it seems. But to explain it and having somebody never put it into practice, anything railroading could be seen as, alien. Like, it's a whole different language. Yeah, this is, when you're dealing with the hills, especially, I don't know the territory. This is not, obviously it's a game. If something goes wrong, I can just, okay, we're done, right? But this is why engineers have to train for as long as they do. Because you need to be able to know where you are without looking at anything. You got to know, I got to know what my train is doing 3,800 feet behind me. And see, it'd be even worse if I was on that train going down that hill. Because the air brake systems are all different. There's a thing. What did I do? Oh. I was like, where'd everything go? What I'm on is called a unit train. Yeah, force of habit. That's what you do, man. You're supposed to wave in the oncoming trains. That's how you be nice. Gotta like. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, that freight train. Right. A freight train like that would be a lot more difficult to handle coming down a hill like this because of the fact that each car is different. And being on a unit train where everything on your train is uniform, like this entire train is this type of car, right? The air brake system is going to work much, much better. And also, the lighter the car, the better the brakes set up. When you get into big mixed freight trains like the one we just passed, now you're dealing with boxcars, hopper cars, gondolas, tank cars, flat cars, this, that. They are all loaded differently, way different. Their brake systems are set up differently. It is going to take a lot longer for your train to set up. So you got to react earlier. And that is why it is the biggest thing to know your territory. Like, they got training modules in this, and I bet you they probably tell me all about the terrain in there. But, like, they don't provide you with track profiles. So I'm going by in the bottom corner there, that 2.0% grade. That's showing up, and I have to react instantly. All right, Carl. Thanks for hanging out, man. We appreciate you. Have a good day at work, buddy. wish they could get more variety when they make this stuff. Like, every freight car in this route is BNSF. You know? And there's got to be a way that they could have done UTLX and ADMX and all stuff like that. But who knows? I don't know how they get their stuff. But it was like that. I remember in the original one, where like you'd be on the CSX route and be like, "Oh yeah, look, CSX boxcar, CSX hopper car, CSX auto racks." Like, why is there not UP or BN? Like, you guys have had licensing with them before. Just throw them in there. It doesn't have to be specific to that railroad. That's the beauty about freight cars. There are a lot of different freight car owners in the world. Got a highball. Turn this up. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't make that interactive. So some things to talk about as far as is this game realistic in the sense of what? Right here, F2, distributed power. Doesn't work. According to this game, you have to put on banking comm, as they call it. Comm banking, whatever they want to call it. That is apparently this, the push to talk button on the radio. That would just be me going, what'd you say? That's literally what it is. Push to talk. But whatever. PTC. It's just an aesthetic piece. None of this works. I don't know if they can even program that into this game. Be freaking useful, actually. I will say that it'd be a little bit useful if they could, because then you would have a bit of a track profile in front of you that you could look at. Some more speed, and then back on dynamics. Every train that I've gotten on so far has had the fuel pump ECU breaker off, which would mean this locomotive would not be running, but it was. Now, it's something they did not carry over so far from the other one. Is I remember getting on trains in Train Sim World 2 on the UP route, and they would have the brakes completely cut out, where I would have to set up the air brake system and charge an entire train before I could move. Which, I mean, why would you do that? So hopefully that means they don't do it for the rest of the game. Here's an inaccuracy. 46, 46, these two are never the same. It is very rare that these two screens actually show the same speed. This is the longest hill I've ever been on in my life. I'm about to have to put on more brakes. Like, they need to somehow create track profiles that you can reference when you're playing this game. Because to not know a grade and then just be thrown into it. It's not fun. I miss running locomotives. I'm back to being a conductor. I haven't been an engineer in a few years, and I miss that. But you know, I like getting out there on a train and getting out of town, going somewhere. It's just what I do. Where does this hill end? I mean, they could add difficulty levels. Like any game, you could have a level of difficulty where it's like, yeah, you know, I want it super realistic, or I'm a beginner. Because I started with a newer company, so I have to go through being a conductor first, and then when it gets time for me to get promoted to locomotive engineer, I'll go. I really wish it wasn't as bright in here as it is, especially considering it's cloudy outside in the game. But nothing I can really do about that, I guess. That's why I thought this light was on, but it's just that apparently. It's not even that light. I wonder if is that light functional? Oh, hey, I just noticed such and such is sitting down now. Oh, that is a little functional light. Oh. No more T-pose either. Oh, look at that. We got an approach coming up in 2 miles, apparently. That's great. Why is there a cab signal breaker when I don't even have cab signals physically in this locomotive? How long have I been at this scenario? Does it tell me? Nope. Doesn't tell me. So I got a 55 coming up, but I've also got an approach coming up in 2 miles. Intriguing. Better not ask me to stop. At least an hour? Oh, it says it only goes at least an hour, so a little over. I just noticed this looks like something out of an EMD. All these things right here. What the heck? What'd they do? Combine? I guess I haven't been on a What do they call this? C4? Where is this approach? Should be seeing it. I mean, I'm less than a mile away. Draw distance was never the best in this. Like on a day like this, if you had a bright yellow light somewhere, you'd see it. There it is. Advanced approach. At least I got a bit of a cushion. Give me an advanced approach. I like that I can hear the rain. As if a locomotive is that quiet. I've actually been on trains where it's rained hard enough that I can hear it. It's friggin' nuts. Oh, hey, look at Dero. Hey, look, school bus. My favorite is when you're on a train like here, you got a road right there at night, and you got your headlights on. People flash their high beams at you. It's like, yeah, no. My headlights have to be on. If you're blinded, I don't care. I still think it's considered in this train to be heavier than it is. So if I actually have to stop after this approach, I've got to do a lot of thinking. Let's try it out. That's probably the end of where I gotta go, actually. What's that? Assuming it's up here at this, I can't see it yet. Oh, there it is. Let's see what this comes in as next. Apparently nothing. According to this, I have no signal next. Interesting. Interesting. Look at that. There's a friggin' hill right there. Is there a crossing right there too? No, it's just a bridge. Another train. Take advantage of this hill for a minute. Just gonna cut back on that. I'm gonna release the brakes. Most of my trains should still be coming up over the hill at this moment. Alright, I gotta stop in 2.5 miles. Back on to 2%. Basically just been cycle braking this whole thing, which is not fun in this setting. It looks like the rain's coming down. I'll turn this off. You ain't got a light on. How's my flow at 0, but my rear end is not climbed? It's at 80. Oh, this ain't gonna work. I just realized I gotta stop in less than 2 miles. Well, I fucked this up. Whoops. Gonna have to stop the train regardless, so. Braking effort is crap. I got a mile to go. Still going 33. This is a situation you never want to be in. If you have to put on a full service to stop your train, you might as well dump it. Trying to stream this game and actually think is not easy for me. And we're gonna stop early, so we stopped in time. Somehow. We're at a point now that my dynamics aren't even doing anything. Actually. Okay. We're on a 1.2, so I should be able to kick it off, charge it up, and slow roll to where it needs me to go. Hopefully. I clearly have a lot more to learn about this territory than I thought. Let's see how long this takes. I'm going to jump pretty quick back up to 73. No. I know what I'm doing. There's a reason for this, actually. Technically, this helps charge up your train. We're going to take a moment while this charges to enjoy the rain. Can you open any of these? Really? That's a shame. I have no idea. Look, they still haven't programmed that the chains connect. No idea. I have no idea. What is happening? I can't go through the locomotive. Okay. Well, that's messed up. Where are we at? 77. This is a train that is less than a mile long with 3 air compressors working on it right now. And it can't charge. Oh my god. I agree. That's all. You know, there was a Carmen. I kid you not. Also, welcome in. I had a Carmen that didn't fully seat a glad hand between 2 auto racks, and my train ended up breaking into 3 pieces because of it. Yeah, I know. They didn't program flow into this game, apparently. Brake pipe at 89, ER at 90, rear at 80, and not climbing. Let's go to 4. See if that. I bet you they haven't programmed this in either. As I just piss off any general public in the area by revving a locomotive next to their houses. I mean, technically speaking, I should be fine to go. But I learned something about this route. Is that light trains are heavy, apparently. I swear, it's almost like they wanted to say, like, hey, look, we understand that American trains are heavy. So, when you're 4,800 tons, you can't stop. Which is like, no. That's pretty close to most empty unit trains' weights. $83. Alright. If it wasn't for the fact that I gotta go there, what am I gonna do? I'm sure they didn't program in why you need to. This is actually a method of starting a train down a hill, too. more speed. Obviously, my dynamics are now holding it. So, Mr. Though, if I am saying that wrong, I am sorry. Are you a railroader or are you a rail fan? Why is this pressing? Wow. Engineer with CN, huh? Really? I'm a conductor with CN. Engineer from a class 2. I'm in the Gulf region of CN in the United States. Small world. Okay, so you're a little ways off. I was saying earlier, I'd love it if they added some CN locomotives to this, just so I could judge how accurately they made them. With the, yeah. Yeah, you're, just a couple days worth of traveling away. Nah, there's no way that happened. He's at the other end of the railroad. But all I can say, man, is keep those covered wagons up there. We don't want them down here in the summer. When I first hired out, we had a bunch, and oh my god. They never let us stop somewhere we could like get out and use the AC. We're crossing over. 30 coming up. Glad I didn't go too fast. We're gonna stop in 2.5 miles. So this is the other thing. All I knew was the game was telling me that I had to stop in front of me. I had no idea that it would just change the minute I hit that location. Like, why would I have thought that? Crossing over again? I'm good with this for now. Yeah. So it can't be a signal because you can't give me a clear and then in 2 miles give me a I hit a tree. Tree's a little close, guys. Which is actually pretty accurate, but normally you would like, you know, not get it through the window. Oh, we got this one. There goes my head. Did they like run through any of this stuff before they released it? Man, hitting a tree, that's nothing. Like that. Happens all the time. I actually just recently got my first vehicle strike, and honestly, the situation was kind of underwhelming. We ended up hitting a truck at 3 miles an hour. Did you not apply? Yeah. So we stopped at a signal because why did we stop? Was it because we were coming in? I think we already had the air on, and then it changed right in front of us. So we already said, "All right, well, we're stopping anyway." And so we. Started moving again, and then we go through this crossing, and then we had a switch we had to open up and enter the yard. So as we're waiting, we start going again. We got to just pull like 6 cars through the signal to get to where we needed to be, and this dude literally backed into us in the crossing. Like, come on, man. And then everyone in the area, there's a club right next to the tracks, they started trying to blame us for it. Like, you parked where you shouldn't have. You parked basically in the crossing. Ooh. Yeah, that stuff happens. It's rough. But unfortunately, here it happens so often that a lot of people are just so numb to it. So, like, I'll be out there, and I'll see somebody go in front of me, and I'm just like, people don't understand what we actually do, what we deal with. Everything's always, oh, poor, so sad for the people hit and everything, and then it's the railroad's fault, and it's like, you ever think of us up there? Like, we're the last person, the last people to have seen that person alive. But nobody cares about us. Alright, am I going to stay going uphill or what? Alright, here's a hint that Dovetail needs to somehow add Amtrak or something to this game, because look, there's a big passenger station right here. Yeah. Had a flag and trying to stop us across and let a dump truck go. Yeah, Allied Spy, you are 100% right. Welcome on in. Yeah, we can't stop. Case in point, if you watched me going down the hill earlier. Oh yeah, a friend of mine, he had a police officer right next to a college football stadium get out in front of him with everybody crossing and put his hand up, and they dumped the train but went screaming by. It's, and then he went up there, got all mad at the crew, like, you didn't stop. Like, duh. Tried telling the crew that the pedestrians have the right of way. It's not how it works. It's not at all how it works. We got an advanced approach here, but I'm stopping in a little over a mile. Alright, now I need some throttle. Yeah. Yep, people are clueless about trains. And it shows. It shows. when we hit the truck, so we went through the procedure, even though it was at. That's right. We went through the procedure, and we put the train in emergency. It's like 3 mile an hour. We didn't have to. Called it out. People are yelling at me through my closed window, and all I can hear is "Back the fuck up!" I'm like, I'm gonna go lock that door really quick. So we locked the 2 doors on the locomotives, and we called in. It's like, yep, hit a truck. Here's the deal. So we got the doors locked. People are yelling at us. Dispatcher goes, "You guys feel threatened?" Like, not at the moment. So it's all right. Just wait there until the authorities arrive. But things get out of hand. You start feeling threatened. Move. Amen. And actually, the truck we hit drove off. So when the cops showed up, they're like, "There's nothing we can do." So, okay, put the train away in the yard, called it good. It's like, we weren't exactly calling you to do anything. We just had to follow procedures because we did, in fact, hit a truck. They showed up and said, "Where's so who got hit?" I went, "He went that way." But if anybody is confused, let me fill you in. That's the wrong key. This thing right here, when you're standing at ground level, probably about that. This thing's heavy. This thing's loud, too. And if it hits you, I guarantee you, in about an hour and a half, if that train's going to be moving. Somebody's going to be taking it to where it needs to go. The right-of-way belongs to the railroad. And it always has. Something tells me that's not an accurate mile. But, like, look at how it is counting down my next signal versus where I need to stop. Yeah. I'll get some speed, I guess. We're going uphill. But biggest thing as far as the game itself that Dovetail needs to focus on is getting more variety of locomotives and cars and all this stuff to just add more depth to the world. Like, let us mix whatever locomotives we want, foreign locomotives in this and that. It's what we do. We constantly have foreign locomotives on our trains. I can't tell you how many times here working at CN, this is what my train has looked like. 2 to 3 BNSF locomotives. There's no stop. There's a lot of school buses in this game. And they're all just driving around at 11:52. Interesting. Now I'm going downhill. So what is this? The main line cuts through, or am I actually on yard tracks? Yeah. Oh, you got that right. You definitely got that right. And I'm sure you know as well as I do, you get a nice old CN 2100, you ain't gonna be having a good time. I'm surprised I didn't, because I've been on their chats before asking a question like, why does this work this way, and why did, you know. But Ally, what's your position, by the way? Give us 30,000 ton Grand Tours from DC. Oh yeah, oh dude, they can't program a kicker. They don't know what that is. The question is, what am I actually stopping at? Yard office or something, or am I just stopping in the middle of nowhere? Conductor at CP. Oh, okay. That's where I got my start, was the old Canadian Pacific. I was a conductor there for about a year before I ended up moving back home. Up in Canada or in the United States? No kidding. All right. Well, hopefully all you guys out there railroading are surviving as best you can. We all know what it's like. How long you been with CP? I hate the angle of this game where it's like another thing is trying to get a good vantage point to see everything. You can't see the whole control stand. Also, Mr. Lowe, how long you been with CN? Just 2 years? Oh, newbie. We got an FNG in here. How you liking it, man? Oh, dynamics are such a cheat when they work. 10 years. All right, you got me beat, my friend. You got me beat. Yep, I got 1 year at CP, 3 years at Pan Am, technically 4 years at CN, but I was furloughed. Isn't that great? I wonder if they even programmed in the whole, like, you gotta bail off the independent thing if you set the brakes. Probably not. Alright. Do you think a minimum will stop me right now in this game? You know it. Okay, made it. Took me an hour and 40 to go 47 miles. All right, that's about right. That's, yeah. That right there. Whoops. The hills on this terrain. Return to free roam. Yeah, might as well, because, like, you know. Well, somebody can take over this train now. Let's see what free roam's all about. And again, this game, for some reason, normally you hold shift to run. It's just like, look, I just got launched from a train. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes, you know, you get an older locomotive, you probably have to. Hey, where am I? Is there anything here? In the middle of the yard. Actually, no, I'm at the very end of the yard. So, yeah, look, if I hold the shift key, now I always bailed running dynamics out of habit. Anyway. Because okay, bye. I didn't even know I swapped out. Yeah, I guess so. Oh wow, they actually have one of those pink containers on there. I give them credit. A lot of these containers are real. The ones that are labeled, at least. And then they just went on and generically made a bunch. Yep. Anyway, since my train has now been stolen, do I have to file a report on that? Is that... What do you do in that situation of, like, your train just starts running away, but you didn't swap out, and you put a full set on? Should've had the handbrakes. Oh, see, here's a bit of variety, but they had to make it their initials. They couldn't get TTGX or F-box or whatever. Generic footstep sounds. This is weird. And we couldn't make it round. That's true. Is there like anywhere to actually go here? Like a yard office or something? So it's starting to not look like there is. What? Oh man. Well, anyway, that's that run. Let's go. Go to the main menu. I already finished that. Let's see. Because I only know anything about American stuff. Free switching at Barstow. Okay, these are going to take too long. No. You know what? Let's, what does it got as far as... The SD40 training module is 30 minutes. Why? Why would it be that long? Okay, we're not going to do that then. Alright, we'll just find a timetable train and... Oh, I gotta click that, that's right. Just to get... Alright, 18 minutes. Supposedly. Let's see what this is all about. Everybody knows the SD40s, anyway. Not my favorite. We got 2 locomotives. Okay. Stopping location is indicated. Alright. Since I don't feel like playing both conductor and engineer on this. Okay. Am I going that way? Yeah. There. I don't know. Figure it out as we go. Oh, look at that. They programmed the yellow one. Are you running? Controlling with unit cut with long, run. Dynamic brakes are cut in because I definitely need that. Horn cut out. They have a horn cut out up there? Oh wow, they. I will. Yep, they did definitely increase the quality of the sounds. It's light. What? Jeez. Take a look at it. Yep, that's an SD40-2. Notice how just every set over there is an SD40-2. Look at that. Okay. Look, they even put a PTC screen in it. Oh my god. There's the bell, yeah. Wow. They even have it handwritten in there. Okay. I'll give them that. I'll give them that. Man, if it's not switching, I don't want motors like this. We got those old IC SD70s. Ugh. Oh, you're right. Where are the sunflower seeds? Well, that's some boo-hawk. Look, I can turn the air conditioner on, though. That's exactly what I need in this game. I don't even know where I came out of. Also, I've noticed that they don't ever put handbrakes on in this game. You just kind of go. But thank God this is still an old brake system on here. So feathering your independent actually works. Ooh, I gotta call CN when I'm done with this. And tell them I don't want to be called till 6 in the morning. We're just kind of rolling and hoping that the switches are lined, I guess. Hey, every switch can be run through once. Remember that. Actually, what's the saying? Every switch is a spring switch once in its life? There's just that. It just goes off the nose. I guess there must have been tracks there at one point in history. Lined like all the way down to where I need to go. Yep. Is that somebody shoving a cut? Yep. It'd be really cool if like they actually animated somebody on the side of that. Let's go find out. I doubt it. But keep forgetting. Don't press the right mouse button unless I want to not move it. Somebody's watching the point from somewhere. That would have been a cool feature if you actually like had a train shoving like that, and you they actually like put a person on it. Where? Why do they make me stop so damn far away? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 switches away from the one. Like I could have stopped it here. Tell me you don't know how to switch without telling me you don't know how to switch. Get up here. Thank you. I can get way down there too. So this is a scenario that they say is going to take 16 minutes or something like that. Find out. Why did... No wonder it's going to take this long. If you're going to make me stop that far away from the switch I need. I think I said 16 vehicles. They couldn't make it say 16 cars. Oh man, I didn't even see you say goodbye. My bad. If you're still here, have a good one, buddy. Appreciate you stopping in. Where? I like that they didn't just make a marker appear. So clearly I'm just switching. I'm assuming there were no handbrakes on these things? way he wants me to go, I guess so. Sitting there's a train in my way. Out of my way. Let's see. Yeah, we got a restrictor. Drive any locomotive for 50 miles. All right. Got another Xbox achievement. Oh. We are almost done with the day. I have a feeling this is literally what they're calling it. The switching job is get that cut of cars and bring it over here. that other train going? Whoa. See how good the brake system works on this. Should just be able to pull it. A minimum stopping 2 SD40s like that on 16 cars. Old school. Where are we going now? I've been at this longer than it said it would take, so. Nah, even that works, huh? But that's inaccurate. Those are always broken. I think I still need to get on my second PC build soon. We're watching this on YouTube. I'm planning to build a second PC and dedicating one to just recording the trains content I create, and then having one for everything else, because that game takes up way too much stuff. You're gonna have me go back somewhere? See, how far off was it? Okay. Well, since it made me go all the way up to that lead, yeah, I guess it makes sense, actually. Wow. They put that in there for some reason. We don't exactly use those anymore. I'm gonna go by that number there. So
Someone wants the lead locomotive station in here.
sweet. Cool, I'm level 3. You're operating this thing already level 5. Is this an app? Is it literally telling me to get this game while I'm playing this game? Yep. Okay. Well, that is Train Sim World 3. A few things, realism-wise, that don't make sense. But, what's in the store? Is there anything worth... Feature remain unchanged. Okay, so it's just... There's just a random picture of that in there. Let's see if there's anything like... Where is it? Is it not here? Did I just not see it? Oh, there it is. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today on Train Sim World 3. I clearly got some learning to do with the territory there on the, I forget what it's called already, the Cajon Pass. But we got to experience it. I did download this to my PC via Xbox Game Pass. So it was a, it wasn't like I'm going to have anything from my Steam version where I had all my DLC. I don't know if I can transfer that over. We'll find out. But hopefully you enjoyed it. It's got some stuff that I think it needs to work out. You know, I'm going to actually let my computer tell me the optimized settings for that when I get out of the game. But if you want to see more of this stuff, let me know. I will be uploading this entire stream to YouTube as well. So if you're on YouTube and you want to catch the live action, join us over here at twitch.tv/AFMast. If you are on here and not a subscriber to YouTube, youtube.com/AFMast. I'm not sure if it used to be like /user/ yada yada. I think we'll get some more of this content going. I don't think I'm going to ever use that rail driver again. I did not like it, and I don't even know if this game is compatible with it, actually, is it?
It is. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's ready yet, so maybe I'll look up a video and see if it's worth it. Thank you for everybody that tuned in and chatted. It was awesome. All the people that are railroaders that joined in, very much appreciated. Good to hear from people around different parts of the country that do the same thing I do, and around the world that do similar things to what I do. And if you're new here, leave a follow. Greatly appreciated. It's free. Doesn't hurt. You can catch more of this stuff. Also, I stream a lot of other games. I play Nintendo 64. I've been playing through Banjo-Tooie lately. On my YouTube channel, I'm also doing a Let's Play on a Game Boy Advance game. So, there's variety. I'm trying to get back, more and more into this, and hopefully this is kind of steamrolling it. And I have a mosquito bite on my shoulder that is really irritating. So, with that, have a good one. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Whatever it is, where you are. Be safe. Goodbye.